failure to control his men, failure to punish them for what they were doing, or he encouraged them to do what they were doing.
Nun hat man die Soldaten hier unten, direkt am Opfer, und Jean-Pierre Bemba ist oben. Nun ist die Herausforderung für die Staatsanwaltschaft nachzuweisen, dass Bemba wirklich verantwortlich war für das, was im Field passiert ist. Das ist eine Sisyphus-Arbeit in diesem Fall, ist auch eine rechtliche Herausforderung, auch eine tatsächliche Herausforderung, dies nach 7 Jahren zu beweisen, weil Beweismittel teilweise nicht mehr vorhanden sind, schwer zu finden sind oder gar nicht zugänglich sind.
Afterwards.
No, before you go down.
Okay. Okay. To be a little bit tighter.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, it got to be. And I'm not recording because that's like an hour delay.
Should we check the translation? And Marion says it should be, they were lucky to have sexual intercourse. We say they had the chance to have sexual intercourse, but this is on the slide, so cannot change it.
Okay.
This is my dream, you know.
We're here, we're ready.
This is my dream, have these two ladies in front of them, charging him for the rape he did in Central.
You can either sit with us in the front or...
That's what I think. I think you should sit with us in the front. Yeah, you should be in front.
The only question is...
I like that you had 3 women in front, you know that. This row, with 3 of you, is my dream. Cynthia, how are you?
Excellent.
Excellent. Good morning. You know him? Yeah. How many chairs we have?
3. Okay, let's roll.
Let's roll.
C'est ici que tout a commencé. Les troupes du MLC de Bemba sont venues d'en face, puisqu'en face c'est le Congo, et ici naturellement c'est la RCA. Elles sont venues en plusieurs vagues. Il y a eu au plus fort de leur présence en RCA, il y avait 1000-1500 soldats du MLC, et qui en fait sont venus par bateau, par barge, un peu comme celle que tu vois là-bas. En partant de la plage.
De là-bas derrière l'île.
Oui, derrière la petite île. Ils sont arrivés à pied. Les véhicules leur ont été fournis à leur arrivée ici par le gouvernement. Et c'est ensuite avec les véhicules qu'ils ont récupérés ici qu'ils ont pu remonter et combattre PK12, puis après dans les provinces. Il y avait un modus vivendi, un intérêt stratégique commun pour sécuriser cette frontière. Le deal, c'était je te soutiens, tu me soutiens. C'était une alliance stratégique régionale. Et c'est en vertu de cette alliance que Bemba est intervenu après la tentative de coup d'État de Bozizé le 25 octobre 2002. Ils avaient donc un plan qui consistait à faire intervenir des troupes du MLC pour soutenir, pour venir en aide à Patassé, qui lui était en but à une tentative de renversement de Bozizé.
All rise, pouvez-vous lever? The International Criminal Court is now in session. L'audience de la Cour pénale internationale est ouverte.
Good morning, Mr. Bemba. On behalf of this bench, I welcome you to the courtroom. Now, I would like to ask the court officer to please call the case.
Situation in the Central African Republic. Case the prosecutor against Jean-Pierre Bemba, Combo, ICC 0105-0108.
I would now ask the participants to introduce themselves, beginning with the office of the prosecutor.
The deputy prosecutor, Madame Bensouda, the senior trial lawyer, Mrs. Neuer, the trial lawyer, Mrs. Tai, the trial lawyer, Mrs. Cagliotti, and also assisted by Mrs. Bess.
Thank you, Mr. Prosecutor. Now I turn to the defense. Would you be so kind to present the members of your team?
Madam President, along with Richard Nkwebi of the Kinshasa Bar, he's to my extreme left, we lead the defense for Jean-Pierre Bemba Gombo.
Would you stand up, Mr. Bemba, and identify yourself to the court?
Oui, Jean-Pierre Bemba Gombo.
Thank you, Mr. Bemba. This hearing is not a trial, and in contrast to trial, this chamber does not have to decide on the person's guilt or innocence. Rather, its purpose is to act as a filter, distinguishing cases that should go to trial from those that should not, by simply determining whether there is sufficient evidence. It is the prosecutor who bears the burden of proof, and thus he must provide evidence sufficient to prove the charges alleged. Now, let us go ahead with the reading of the charges.
Count 1. Rape constituting a crime against humanity. From on or about 26 October 2002 to 15 March 2003, Jean-Pierre Bemba committed, jointly with another, Ange Félix Patassé, crimes against humanity through acts of rape upon civilian men, women and children in the Central African Republic in violation of Articles 7.1g and 25.3a of the Rome Statute. Count 2. Rape constituting a war crime. From on or about 26 October 2002 to 15 March 2003, Jean-Pierre Bemba committed, jointly with another, Ange Félix Patassé, war crimes through acts of rape upon civilian men, women and children in the Central African Republic in violation of Articles 8, 2, 6 and 25.3a of the Rome Statute.
In this particular case, it's not like the case in Sierra Leone where victims were actually, their bodies were marked.
Marked by?
They use implements to write like RUF, which means Revolutionary United Front. That was done in Sierra Leone. But in the Central African Republic, we don't have that kind of evidence. But what we have is the way in which they committed the rape. Like I said to you, it was done house to house. And secondly, it was done not just one perpetrator. Gang rapes were committed. So you have a victim being raped by one person, and the usual thing is that when one person is done, he prevents the victim from getting up by either standing on the victim or holding a gun towards the victim, creating a coercive environment so that the victim is powerless to leave. And then he calls another colleague who will come and do the same thing, and then another, and then another. You have victims being raped in front of their children, in front of their husbands. You have a husband being sodomized in front of his wife and children. Just like you would use a gun to shoot somebody, they used sexual violence to terrorize the population because they know the effect of that on the community. I'll send a message to the team that we have arrived. Let me just do that right now. Yeah. Oh yes, it's not very hot. So. Crackers in the morning. I make sure I come with enough food to last me the whole mission, because I'd rather come with less clothes and enough food than enough clothes and less food. I mean, it looks so peaceful, but 2002, October to March 2003, this was a busy route, very busy route. I was a prosecutor in Sierra Leone for over 18 years. And on the 25th of May, 1997, a coup d'etat took place in Sierra Leone. The central prison was broken, and all the prisoners got out. And the first accused in the treason trial, which I was doing, was made the head of state. That was it for me in Sierra Leone. But I was always thankful that at least my kids were safe, and so am I.